don't know.
More than 100 children are in the state foster system right now hoping for a permanent home, and it's no secret that children's chances of being adopted dwindle as they get older. Giving up, however, is not an option for the local nonprofit Child Advocates of Connecticut, out to make sure the needs of each child in the Connecticut foster system are met. We are joined now by Jill Bicks. She's Executive Director of Child Advocates of Connecticut. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us, Gillian.
So what is the role of a child advocate?
You said it so perfectly. A child advocate is there to make sure the needs of a child are met as they're stuck in a very complicated system. It's the power of one. One volunteer paying attention to one child and making sure that child is heard.
And you guys have told me before, so often foster children don't have a voice for various reasons. They're coming from a home that may have neglect, abuse, drug abuse.
And they have parents who haven't been able to take care of their needs. And then the state takes over and tries to help, but it's a very complicated system and it's very overburdened. And so when our volunteer gets involved, they get appointed to the case of one child to make sure they get medical care, their educational needs are met, and they find a permanent home.
It's so nice to hear that a child, well, first it's devastating to hear a child is in the world and no one's keeping track of them. Of course, now you're telling me somebody is. So now somebody's keeping track of them. Somebody's keeping track of the paperwork that goes along with them.
And someone's keeping track of how many homes they've been in, if it's more than one. Why that home has met their needs or hasn't met that their needs. Make sure that that child has a pair of winter shoes if it's winter. Make sure that that child speaks to their siblings if their siblings are somewhere else.
We have, and your organization has given us a rare inside look at the life of a child removed from a Stamford home. We want to show folks, her name is Julie, and she wants what so many people take for granted, a permanent home.
Broccoli, green beans, mixed vegetables.
It's dinner time at this Connecticut home.
What do we want?
At the Collinses, everyone happily lends a hand.
14.
Good times, good company, and lots of laughs. But behind 13-year-old Julie's easy smile are worries most kids don't have.
You never know where you're going to go.
This is Julie's 11th foster home.
No, I don't have any happy memories from my childhood.
She's been in the care of DCF since she was 3 years old.
She got bounced around quite a lot. And she was in city environments, and it was very difficult for her.
Torn out of so many homes abruptly. School changes, friend changes, caseworker changes.
4 years ago, Nancy Rebold of Weston got involved in Julie's case as a volunteer child advocate.
We ensure that a child does not get lost within the system. We are their voice because they don't have a voice.
Rebold and others involved in Julie's journey sometimes can't believe all she has endured from the start.
Dad not really present. A mother who was so emotionally not there. They were taught to steal. They ate out of dumpsters.
What was the worst situation?
Getting abused, like slapped, and getting accused of things for no reason.
Things like that do need to be investigated.
Julie's current DCF caseworker, Patrice Raffington, says children are removed from homes deemed unsafe.
It's another disruption, unfortunately.
There was a period of time that Julie was not being recommended for a home.
Julie was moved to a group home.
It was decided by DCF that they were not recommending a foster home for her or a pre-adoptive home. Those were the dark days.
Then light and hope.
Mark and I both ran down the stairs, and I looked at her and I said, "Can I hug you?" and stretched out my arms, and she ran right in. She was so ready to be hugged and to be loved and to be accepted.
She wanted a mom, she wanted a dad, she wanted a brother, a sister, she wanted a dog, and she wanted to live in a house.
This is where she was supposed to be.
Probate court, downtown Stamford. A judge declares Julie an official part of the Collins family.
Forever. She gets love. She knows she never has to move again. There had been many placements. She I keep telling her, kiddo, you're stuck. You are stuck with us.
It's a good thing because
I love them.
I'm in awe of who she is, because anybody that can go through hell and come out intact is amazing to me.
She said, I finally found home.
To have a family with kids that would love me forever and keep me and not like send me away anywhere.
so happy for her, and her family says they would not change a thing. Her new family is just so happy. What was it that, as a volunteer, Nancy Rebold was able to do to help make this happen?
Julie's was in care since she was 3 or 4 years old. Nancy got involved when she was 9, and from that time on was the one consistent presence in Julie's life, who was able to explain to the Collinses and all about Julie and make that match happen.
Isn't that interesting? Because inevitably, and Nancy told me, the longer they're in foster care, they're bouncing from house to house, inevitably there is trauma. And because of that, they need a home more than anyone. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
It does. And what Nancy did for Julie was keep in mind that she's a child who'd been through trauma, and so she was an individual, not a set of behaviors. And that child is now going to be loved forever.
Yes.
By the Collinses.
She's thrilled. Now, Nancy Rebold is a founder of the organization Child Advocates of Connecticut, but other people can get involved and volunteer as she has.
Yes, we have a training coming up in September. It's nearly full, but we give volunteers 5 days of training, and we provide constant backup and support. I was Nancy's support for many years when she first started, and the organization stands behind every volunteer.
5 days, how long?
6 hours a day, so it's a 30-hour training altogether.
So you're basically taking the time in your life, 5 days, to become a volunteer child advocate, and from there you can decide what you want to do with it.
Yep, and from Nancy's story is one story, but some volunteers spend 10 hours a month, some spend 5 hours a month, some cases last for 6 months.
Okay, it varies.
It varies.
I want to share one more sound bite because it got me, by Cindy Collins, who is the mom in the story, the one who just adopted Julie.
There are a lot of kids in our own backyard that need families. I understand people going to foreign countries. If that's what you like to do, I think that's wonderful. We thought it was very important to help the children here and to take children here. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is this is no cost. We're not spending upwards of $20,000.
She says the only cost is she gives her love and she gets love back.
That's a win-win.
I love it, and she says it so well. Don't you wish there were 300 Cindy Collinses to go swoop up all the kids that are there? Thank you so much, Jill Bicks, and come back again real soon. A quick